Okay, we're continuing in our Hachaim, Parshat Va'era. We're in the beginning of the Parsha, Perek Vav, Pasuk Gimel. In last week's Parsha, at the end, Moshe Rabbeinu was complaining to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, how could he send him to Paroi, and instead of making things better for Klal Yisrael, Hashem made things worse. And Moshe spoke to Hakadosh Baruch Hu in a little bit of what we would say, a forceful manner. And even though he meant it for L'toivas Klal Yisrael, we're going to see now that Hashem was not too happy with him. And the pasuk says, "Va'era el Avram el Yitzchak el Yaakov ve'el Shaddai u'shmi Adonai lo nadati lahem." And I did not tell them the name of Hashem. What does that mean? We're going to see in our Hachaim that the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. What did you say? Hashem is talking, yeah. Hashem is talking to Moshe Rabbeinu. I appeared to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov with the name Kel Shakai, which is a special name, right? Now, Hashem has many different names. Now, the best way I could explain it is you could have an individual who's a judge, a jury, and a prosecutor not at the same time, obviously, but he plays all those roles. So, Lahavda Elef Alfei Elofim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is all these roles. When Hashem has to use justice, he uses the name Elohim. That's the reference that Hashem is now Midas Hadin. When Hashem does Chesed, we refer to that aspect of Hashem as Yud Kei Vav Kei. And Yud Kei Vav Kei also has a lot of other Kabbalistic inferences, which is not the purpose of the shir and happens to be way above my head. But all those things, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, the name Yud Kei Vav Kei and all that it represents, I did not reveal to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Okay? So now, before we continue, here begs the question, who was the greatest Jew that ever lived?
Moshe.
So, how do we know it was Moshe Rabbeinu? Right? So Simcha says Moshe Rabbeinu. So we're going to see from this pasuk, and the Hachaim explains, from this pasuk we're going to see that Moshe Rabbeinu was, as we say in English, head and shoulders above everybody else. So the simple answer that everybody says was, Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim, Hashem gave him the Torah. Correct? But even at this point, when they were still in Mitzrayim, and remember Moshe Rabbeinu at this point is about 80 years old, he already left Mitzrayim. He lived in Midian. According to the Midrashim, he was actually a king of a country for 20 years. Right? So he's already 80 years old, but he did not yet get the Torah, and he did not yet perform any of the Nisim. Even with all that, as we're going to see, Moshe Rabbeinu was already considered the greatest Jew, the greatest Yid that ever lived, for the reason that only to Moshe Rabbeinu, up until this point, Hashem revealed the secret of Yud Kei Vav Kei, not to Avram Avinu, not to Yitzchak, and not to Yaakov. And because of that, Hashem had a taina to Moshe Rabbeinu. If you know my name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, and all that it represents, and all the worlds that it affects, and everything that has a purpose, and you're still questioning me, that's not a good thing. So now, with that introduction, let's begin the Hachaim. Tam sheskirim beprotos. The Hachaim wants to know, why did Hashem have to say that I appeared to Avram and Yitzchak and Yaakov? Hashem could have told Moshe Rabbeinu, I appeared to the Avos, and they never questioned me. Comes along Moshe Rabbeinu, and you're already starting to question me. So why did Hashem, in each detail, listed all the Avos separately? Letzad, shekol echad yesh bar bechina me'ula. The reason is because each one of the Avos had a special quality that the other one didn't have. And because of that quality, you would have thought that they were the greatest. Even still, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, you are right now still greater than them. And yet, they never questioned me. And that was the taina that Hashem had to Moshe Rabbeinu. El Avram. What does Avram mean? Avram Avinu had a tremendous, unique aspect to him, that he was the first one that knew Hashem all on his own. Adam Rishon, Hashem spoke to Adam Rishon. Noach, Hashem spoke to Noach. Shem, Hashem spoke to Shem. They all knew it from Adam and Noach. Avram Avinu's father was Terach. He was the king of the idol worshippers. Avram Avinu had everything against him. He was born, right, when his parents lived in an Aveira, right? His mother was a Nida when Avram Avinu was conceived. So there was everything against him. And yet with all that, Avram Avinu, with his own, right, koiches that Hashem gave him, recognized that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. Right? So what do we see from here? That he had a special, unique quality. Yitzchak Avinu already knew HaKadosh Baruch Hu because of Avram Avinu. Yaakov already knew HaKadosh Baruch Hu because of Yaakov and Avram. So everybody understands. Once you know the secrets, right? Once somebody revealed to you the secrets, and somebody reveals to you the truth of how the world runs. It's not a big novelty that you're following the way of Hashem. Certainly, the great wondrous way that is the way of Hashem. As opposed to Avram, Avram Avinu already recognized that there's a Borei Olam before Hashem did any miracles to him. Right? The miracle of being thrown into the fire was only much later on in his life. At that point, he already understood that there was Hashem on his own without any special miracle. Using his own seichel, his intelligence that Hashem gave him, he figured out that there's a Borei Olam. And Avram had a special title called the one who loves Hashem. Even when he only knew Hashem through the great nisyonis, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Avram Avinu had a tremendous quality that he knew me before anybody else. He knew me all on his own. And even still, I did not reveal to him with the name of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. So he was limited to a point. Yitzchak had a special quality that he was Ma'aseh Nefesh himself for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shepashat Tzavar al Gabe Mizbeach. That he was ready to die Akiddush Hashem. That's a tremendous level. And even still, right, which Avram Avinu, by the way, and Yaakov did not have that same level, but even still, HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not fully reveal himself to Yitzchak. Yaakov had another quality, that Yaakov had no children that were puzzle. He was whole, he was complete. He was 100% Kedusha. That from him, no bad child came out, like Yitzchak and Avram. Avram had Yishmael, Yitzchak had Esav. So you see that even though each one of the Avos had a special quality that the other ones didn't have, I did not reveal to them in the name of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, only in Kel Shakai, which is, a lower level, a very high level, obviously, but it doesn't give you 100% the picture of everything that's going on. Only Moshe Rabbeinu got 99% of the picture. And later on, Moshe Rabbeinu tells Hashem to reveal to him all the secrets. Hashem says, there's certain things I can't reveal to you. For example, there's certain people that I choose to have mercy, even though they don't deserve mercy, right? And there's certain people that I do chesed, even though on the face of it they don't deserve chesed. That's something I can't explain to you. But 99.9% Moshe Rabbeinu knew. And therefore the Hachaim says, Shel kol sholosh hadrogas hatzadikim b'chiri olam, lo niglesi aleim ela b'kel shakai. I did not reveal to myself only with the name of Kel Shakai. Shu gidlui hadroga lamata mi'adrogas gilush nizgal Moshe, which is a lower level of revelation, right, of what Moshe Rabbeinu already achieved. Shehu b'shem Hashem k'omer ani Hashem. V'kavana b'zeh lo yidiyah ki kafui b'toivas hashemakim. Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu, look at the tremendous kirvas, the tremendous closeness that I brought to you, that I revealed to you, that I showed you, and you were ungrateful. You accused me, Hashem said, of doing something bad for Klal Yisrael. You don't think I knew what I was doing? Now, Moshe Rabbeinu obviously, Chas v'Shalom, did not have intention of getting Hashem upset. He was bothered that now Klal Yisrael, because of him, had to do a lot more work. Right? What happened was after Moshe Rabbeinu left Paroi tripled the work. He felt terrible for them. So Hashem said, you should have known that this is part of the plan. And in actuality, this is not going to be bad for them, it's going to be good for them. And therefore Hashem said, you were kafui toiv. Now, there's always a way to speak, to ask Hashem, I did not have intention to harm them. How can we help them? Right? The famous kasha is, when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim, almost at the end of the 40 days, the Yetzer Hara tricked Klal Yisrael, and he showed them the coffin of Moshe Rabbeinu. So Klal Yisrael thought, they also made a mistake in the calculation, that Moshe Rabbeinu died. Correct? So what did they do? They built the Egel. So the question is asked, it's not their fault, they were tricked. Right? You understand the question? So what should they have done? They were tricked. What do you expect them to do? So the answer is, it's always how you approach a problem. They should have went to Aaron. Aaron, what should we do now? You tell us what to do. Whatever you tell us to do, we will do. They didn't went to Aaron. They told Aaron, we want now the calf to lead us. We're doing it no matter what you tell us. And if you get in our way, we'll chas v'shalom kill you. That's not the way to approach the problem. So here too, the Taina of Moshe Rabbeinu was, I understand that you're upset, and I understand that you feel terrible for Klal Yisrael, and it pains you. But Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu that you know that I revealed to you things that I didn't reveal to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. You should know and see the bigger picture, and you didn't. And you didn't speak to me with the proper level of respect, right? Which is a different Hachaim that explains that because Hashem spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu kaviyochol, like two friends speak to each other, Moshe Rabbeinu had like the minimal drop of less of an awesomeness of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and that was Hashem's taina to Moshe Rabbeinu.